Well, there's already someone there. I can't even talk. Let me set the comments. It always sets it to top chat instead of all messages visible. Okay. Who's there? 4 people have joined. Hi, Granny. Hi, Dennis. It's good to see you, Granny and Dennis. Who else is here? Wow, 12 people. Am I okay? Not especially. Hi, Tristan. Hi, Alex. Hey, Heather. I'm trying, Dennis. I keep trying to make a video about things that are going on. And the other night I stayed up to like 4 in the morning blogging, and then I didn't even finish the blog. Like, worked on it for hours. And yeah, I'm really sad about everything that's going on. And now I'm breaking my no crying on YouTube policy. Um, why am I upset? I'm upset because everyone is upset. And people have the right to be upset. And a lot of my friends are fighting with each other. And you know, they're trying to make things better. And it doesn't feel right to upload funny videos right now, but people feel like they need funny videos. But it's hard to okay. Heather says crying unless the ugly cry face comes out. All right, so I did like multiple takes of videos. I'm just afraid of things coming out the wrong way. And like, I've been wanting to talk about things since last week, and I had this deadline to make a video for my friend's daughter who got married on Saturday, and I had been planning that I would try to put a video to make her laugh before her wedding. And this was not the wedding of her dreams. So I thought, okay, what can I do? And this was in the middle of like um, the protests and riots starting, and I wanted to address that, but I wanted to get things done for Lexi. Like, I'm feeling sick to my stomach. Hey, Teresa, I don't blame you. So I kept thinking I should make a video, but then I can't stand it when people try to like profit off of tragedy. Doesn't feel like the right word. This is the thing right now, is we're all jumping on each other for using the wrong words when our hearts are in the right place. And it's frustrating. Hi, Hero. Let me say hi to everyone. B and B. Do you like salad? Yeah, I like salad. I'm growing salad in my garden right now. I did have a bunny come um, and eat one of the zucchinis I was growing though. Like it bit the bottom of it and didn't eat the rest, and so now I have to figure out how to deter the cute bunnies from my garden. Hi, Ismail. Uh, Tristan, I don't want super chats because I'm going to be talking about current events, and I don't want to. I'd rather people go donate to a cause right now. Sorry, I'm super sick to my stomach. Um, Hi, Ellen. Hi, Malta. I've just been contemplating for days what I can actually do to help change things, and I think a lot of people just kind of wish it would all blow over and things can kind of go back to normal. And like on Monday, I was about to make a video, and I felt like everything was flowing in my mind. Like, you know how that is where you want to write something and you kind of have writer's block, but that happens with like videos too, where you just don't feel like things are flowing. And then we got a knock at the door from a neighbor warning us that there was possible violence coming to our neighborhood, even uh, residential areas, and that scared one of my sons. And so then I put off making the video, and he asked if he could call his dad and ask him to come home early because it sounded like they were going to be closing off streets. And plus he was scared. It was just kind of an unpredictable situation. So there was a protest planned like in the next town over, and that's fine. We weren't expecting anything bad to come of that. But there later that night, there was a strip mall where some guys pulled up in a U-Haul because they were planning on smashing up the strip mall and looting. And these they're like white anarchists who don't actually care about the cause. Like, to me, people like that are vultures who they watch for any opportunity to go destroy businesses and steal. But yeah, I want to make it clear that the the anger is totally justified from the Black community. And I've seen people jumping on each other for where you should be more upset about the murder of George Floyd than you are about the riots and looting. Um, I feel like it's okay to be upset about both. I'm very upset about the murder of George Floyd. I called the DA's office um, on, it was Tuesday, and gave my 2 cents and said I think all of those officers should be arrested. And I was happy to see yesterday that that happened. But um, I made comments about the looting and rioting as I watched a white woman walk out of a clothing store in Seattle with like high-end clothing, and there's an actual protest nearby, and it just seems like she's doing this for herself. Like someone is trying to um, gain from George's murder. So this is why I don't want super chats. I'm like, I don't want to monetarily gain from this at all. Hi, Danny. So my family's safe. And I think there were some people arrested when they showed up. So I don't think the people that showed up at the strip mall the other night, I don't think they're even from our town. I think, well, not but our state, actually. If they knew anything about this area, they would know that a lot of people carry. And we had restaurants in the area asking people to guard their businesses, and people did that. And so it felt scary on Monday, and my plan to make a video about George and related things just totally went out the window. And then we had a deadline for Carmen to make a video for her school's online talent show. So I'm still trying to be a mom. We still had our stay-at-home order going on. So, and on Saturday we found out a friend had a stroke. It's just like a lot of things at once. So I'm emotional. I'm not feeling funny. I'll feel funny again. So, hi, Simple Things. Hi, Mango. And another issue is that I have a close relative who is a police officer and a good man. And, it gets scary when people are saying that cops should be targeted. In any of the, what do you call it? He's not there at the protests or anything. He's in a different department. But anyway, I have many thoughts and feelings, and it's overwhelming. Granny says, I found a live stream where a bunch of totally diverse people were getting along. Mind-blowing. But it just seemed like everyone was sad from whatever perspective they had. Yeah. Hi, Dee. Hi, McPeaky. So we recorded Carmen's song for her school, and I actually put it up for my patrons and channel members. And well, should I upload it for everyone? Because it feels so insensitive to upload anything right now, just because it looks like that I'm ignoring what's going on. I have not been ignoring. I've been speaking up with my friends and on Twitter, talking to my kids about it. We've been having online church with my in-laws, and I was in charge of the lesson on Sunday. And part of the lesson, just so like we have a lesson manual, part of the lesson was being a positive influence in your community. And I have nieces and nephews from babies to teenagers. And I just finally blurted out, we need to listen to our Black friends and believe them when they tell us about the racist things they experience, because it's not just about police brutality. Like, things are still happening all the time. And one of our dearest friends, who is family to us, she talks about things that happened to her, and people, they second guess it. Well, are you sure that's what that person meant? They could have meant this, or it could have been for this reason. And her, Martin Luther King got rid of racism, which is obviously not true. Um, I think people who say that kind of thing live in a bubble. And it was just 2 or 3 years ago that she has cancer. She had to go get her blood drawn again. This older woman told the lab tech. I actually made a video about this not too long after. This lady said to the lab technician, "I don't want you working on me after that dirty little N-word." And I was just amazed that my friend could let that roll off her back. Like, she didn't even say anything to the woman. She didn't yell at her. She didn't do anything because she felt like she would end up in jail. And, hi, Deo. Thank you, Simple Things. David, we've had riots in Seattle, and we've had peaceful protests in other cities. And the hard thing is, you're not really sure if things are going to stay peaceful if you do go to a protest. So yeah, Mango, I agree. It doesn't hit homes very often. I had heard about some areas up north where homes were being targeted. So, hi, Color Radio. Take a look at Jericho Green. I'll make a note to myself. Hey, John, thanks for stopping by. Color Radio, it's how do you say it? Antifa? I've heard two different. Love you too, Simple Things. Hi, son. Thank you for the hug, Simple Things. Oh, Danny, I'm so. Danny says my nephew was one of the police officers shot in St. Louis. Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments. Mango says, right, marches, protests, fine, but the people who are rioting are just opportunists. And that has been like an unpopular opinion from what I've seen amongst Facebook friends, because they say you should be more upset about what happened to George than about the rioting and looting. And like, when I talked about the rioting and looting, it's because at the moment I was watching a live stream of it, and it was obvious they just didn't care about the cause. So if you're going to go down, so here's the thing. We have, in our state, we have had it driven into us that coronavirus is so contagious and so deadly, and we've been told not to even have friends over in our backyard for a barbecue or anything. But then you see huge crowds of people gathering to protest, And I feel like if you're going to be down there, it better be for a good reason and not because you want to steal from stores. Like, it better be because you care about the cause. So, and then the governor's like giving the thumbs up for the big crowd gathering and not saying anything like, please, please be careful about coronavirus and there's going to be a huge surge. So for us, it's been since mid-March that we've had well, let's see. At first it was, I'm trying to remember the timeline, but like school ended mid-March and then it got more strict with everyone shelter in place and we couldn't go to state parks or anything like that. And then after a while, it was like, I think May 5th, they opened the state parks back up. But then, you know, if it gets too crowded, then you have to go home. So, or they might close it down. So, it's hard not to feel angry at the opportunists who are going, well, not only hurting businesses that are already hurting, but possibly spreading the virus more just because they want things for themselves. So, yeah, the arguing between friends, you know, to wear on me, and it makes me want to take a break from social media. But at the same time, I feel like people in the Black community, they see comments all the time that they don't get to walk away from, right? I mean, how convenient for me to just go, I'm just going to take a social media break and pretend this isn't happening. So they can't walk away from the color of their skin, right? Oh, simple things. I'm so sorry about your cat. Hi, Vita. You watch toy videos all the time? Andrew, don't give information about my relative. Okay. Oh. Okay, your videos came out as toy. I'm like, what kind of toys? Have a good walk, hero. And it's also frustrating to see people say stuff like, let's wait for the facts to come in, innocent until proven guilty. And I understand that. Yes, that's very important in our justice system. But for someone to say, I didn't watch the video, and then say, let's wait for the facts to come in, I'm like, it's like a 10-minute long video where, I mean, even police officers all over the place are saying that he was murdered by those police. Oh, sorry. And like it makes me feel like that we feel like we're witnesses to what happened to George. So if I caught someone abusing one of my children and then I told a friend about it and they said, well, they're innocent until proven guilty. Well, you don't. No, you don't. Like, should they get a fair trial? Yes, but George didn't get a fair trial, so he didn't, like, his constitutional rights were violated. And there's no excuse for what happened to him. It whatever crime he committed or didn't commit, whether he was resisting or not resisting, that there's no excuse. And Derek Chauvin, I don't know how you say his name, he was taunting him, telling him to get up and get in the car, while not letting him get up and get in the car. And that was just, it was sadistic, and I wanted to just jump through my screen and kick him in the face. So, I just want everyone to love each other, and Granny Goose says, if I was 20 years younger, I'd probably be out there in the mess. I'm a protester from way back, the 70s. Just too darn old now. I've never been to a protest. Hi, Iranian Pride. Iranian Pride says, I had so many racist abuses thrown at me even today. We have to stand strong. I'm so sorry for the things that you've gone through. Hi, Shy. It's good to see you, Malta. Hi, Karina. Um, Terry, did I say hi to you yet? Hi, Renee. Andrew, stop giving information. Hi, Jane. Evil Ubuntu! So happy to see you. No, the chat isn't off. Here comes a train. Hi, Harley. I'm glad you enjoyed the bridal shower video. Thank you, Dennis. Hi, Leah. Simple Thing says, it is such a difficult time and I feel like I can't do videos because it would all be fake smiles or laughs and smiles. This time isn't about that, it's literally wow, stop and think, breathe and think. I feel like I've gone back to the beginning of the chat. Hi Barbie. Hi Sarah Keith. Hi Desert Goat. Oh, who is it? Hello? Hello? Hung up on me. Okay, how do I say your name? Gurmeet? Hello to you. No, I'm Victoria. I don't want super chats because of the things I'm discussing. I don't want to benefit off of talking about George Floyd or other situations. It probably was a scammer, but sometimes they hang up. Thank you, Mango. Hi, Joanna. Shane, there's a good chance that's no. It would have shown like a 1-800 number if that was him. Ow! I have a cramp in my leg. Andrew, if you want to super chat me, you can just get $5 out of your wallet and run upstairs and give it to me. D, your chats aren't showing? That happens to me sometimes in live streams too. I knew if I made a video about this or did a live stream that, no matter what, I'm going to say something that's going to make people want to unsubscribe. Um, it's not surprising because I see my friends going at it on Facebook. Um, um, you know, we all have differing opinions. I wanted my friends to know that I'm not ignoring the situation at all. All right, I'm still catching up on. Okay, so Shahid said, I am Native American and Black. I have never experienced any racism ever. I think it's pretty unusual. So that's another thing is the Tulalip Indian Reservation the other night. They were also looted. And that's obviously not coming from people who are with Black Lives Matters. Those are just anarchists who they just want things for themselves. Thank you, Alan. I guess the only thing I can compare this to is like that I've experienced is when you talk about being sexually harassed or assaulted, and people either minimize it or don't believe, or oh, that's just so and so. That's just how he is. I mean, I've gone through some in recent years very frustrating situations, and there were guys who actually had like a front row seat to what was going on with this guy who was a pervert. And I had a conversation on Facebook kind of vaguely about it, and I said to one of my friends, it would have been nice if any one of you guys had stepped in and told him to knock it off. Like, he would make inappropriate comments to many women, and he would just leer at them. Like, get in your face. It's like he was older, and he was always giving lots of special attention to women in their 20s, and that's a long story, but it sucks to not be believed. In fact, someone said about this guy, oh, well, he treats all people like that. Like, you don't even know. You don't even know what happened. He groped two of my friends. Like, so you're saying he gropes men too? Well, that's obviously not okay. So I know that pales in comparison to dealing with racism constantly, but it is maddening to not be believed. Hi, Diana. That's a different situation. Karen, this will automatically be uploaded later. Oh, does everyone have to set the chat differently? So I have the chat set so that all messages are visible, but is that just to me? Hi, Barry. Ellen says life can be unfair and I don't know how to make it right. That is what I'm dealing with right now. How can I change anything? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, I'm trying to think of meaningful ways that I can help. And I saw that people were turning their Instagram profiles and Facebook to like black squares. Yes, on Tuesday, for Blackout Tuesday. And I wasn't 100% sure what it was about, and then I started reading about it, and people were using the hashtag Black Lives Matters. People upset because that hashtag is used to communicate with each other during the protest. And so when they were trying to click on the hashtag to look up important things, all they were getting were just a bunch of black squares and no information. So they said that people were actually making things worse for them by doing the black square. So I did not participate in the black square thing, and it's not because I don't care. And it feels like kind of an empty gesture. And I was just talking to a friend this morning about how when it comes to our history lessons at school, just things are very glossed over. And I was telling her when I was a teenager, they implemented Washington State history. That was suddenly going to be a requirement. And I was saying, we could have an entire class devoted to civil rights issues, and I think that would be amazing, and learn more about a lot more people who tried to change things, because you only really hear about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. That's all I remember learning about when I was in school. Hi, Charlahan. Deo says, remember the tweets I sent you? It's truly rampant worldwide. Hi, Crystal. That's okay. Yes, I made many attempts to make videos today. I would start recording and then would get upset, and then I turn it off and then start over, and I just finally decided I would live stream. But then sometimes when people live stream, it's because they want super chats, and so I'm like, no super chats for this. I'm not here to entertain at the moment. Barbie says, my daughter is a history teacher, and I can assure you that has changed. Sometimes it is heavy on civil issues and other histories completely left out. Yeah, I guess the longer things go on, the harder it's going to be to cram all of the history in that our kids need to learn. It's like as the decades go on, there's like more and more to learn about, right? That sounds interesting, Alan. Yeah. Love you too, Karen. This is one of the hardest times I can remember, because people were already suffering so much with unemployment, and so it's hard to see destruction that will make more people unemployed, and in some areas not have anywhere to shop or a pharmacy to go to. I had a friend so things closed down early here the other day, and I had a friend who had surgery, and they believed she had an infection. So they called in some antibiotics for her, and then she wasn't able to find a pharmacy that was open where she could get them. So there's this, all sorts of fallout from everything that's going on. I also saw a video of an influencer like an Instagram influencer. I have no idea who it was, but she turned the situation into go up. Like she went up to, like, so she pulled him in a nice car with maybe her husband, and then she pretended that she was there to help with the cleanup. She had a drill and pretended that she was drilling and putting the plywood up, and it just made me want to barf. It's like, oh, reality doesn't matter, right? It's all about just making yourself look good instead of actually being good. Um, there was another one too, some influencer who posed in front of a window that had been bashed up, and I'm not even sure what she was doing or what message she was sending, but it's like, don't don't go downtown to these events unless you're actually there to do something good, instead of make yourself look good. Deo's asking, is 9/11 in the history books yet? We've taught our kids a bit about 9/11 and how, it was not very long ago at all. And um, when I made friends with my friend Yvonne, it really hit me that lots of terrible things were not very long ago. So she's in her mid 60s. This made me want to scream. Her parents were required to buy her a gym uniform and a bathing suit for when they did swimming at school, but she had to sit on the bench and not participate. So she never learned how to swim because she was not allowed to get in the pool with the white kids. And for people who didn't grow up in that era, it feels like that was so long ago, but it wasn't. The Holocaust wasn't that long ago either. And for years, I said, "Let me teach you how to swim." And no, no. And now she called me one day and she goes, "I'm ready. What are you ready for? And you can teach me how to swim." But now I don't have a place to teach her how to swim. It's something that she's been wanting to do for a while, that she gets cold really easily, so I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. I just love her though. We haven't gotten to see her in months because of the pandemic, and we couldn't even talk on the phone for a while because her asthma has been so bad, like she can't stop coughing, and they tested her for COVID, and she says, "I don't have COVID, it's just my asthma. It happens every year," which is true. Like every year when allergies are bad, she just coughs and coughs. But she's absolutely wonderful, and when I think about her as a little girl sitting on a bench not getting to participate while she watches the white kids play, just hi Claire. Claire says, "Hi, I'm in the UK. I was scammed a few months ago. I found your channel since then. Love to watch your videos." Thank you, and I'm so sorry that you were scammed, and I hope that it's probably hard to talk about, but I hope you have made your friends aware of what happened. It can be embarrassing to admit that you were scammed in some way. Hi, Morek. I don't know what to call you. Hi, Brendan. Oh, Barbie, that makes me sad. All right, sorry, I'm catching up on the comments. Granny says, my best friend got catfished on a dating site. She's crushed. Aw. That's such a double whammy because not only do you get your heart broken, but you also often lose money too. Hi, Justice. Yeah, I'm upset. Like I think the majority of people are upset right now, but I'm okay. I will be okay. Brandon says I paid out $500 to a scam. Some of them are very convincing, and I was nice and uneducated at the time. I'll never see that money again. That is a lot of money to lose. I'm so sorry. More, your ex-girlfriend tries to catfish you? Really? Charlotte, yeah, my family is okay. We had a bit of a scare on Monday when we were told that there might be some violence coming into our neighborhood, but that didn't happen. It stayed by businesses, and well, actually in the next town over it failed because there were people guarding the businesses. So Jeff, I don't actually drink, but last night I had a nightmare. This is a nightmare for me. That someone brought over some champagne, and I didn't. I think I thought it was sparkling cider at first, and I was looking at the ingredients, and she was so excited to give it to me. I didn't have the heart to tell her I don't drink, and so then I drank it, and I felt guilty. It's like such a weird, random nightmare to be having right now. I was having like disturbing nightmares for weeks, so I'm glad they've toned down in nature. Bye, Ismail. It's good to see you. So, it probably shouldn't be too long, maybe, before I feel inspired to make another video. And there's one that I've been wanting to make, but I just haven't had enough quiet in the house to do it. It seems like there's someone awake at all times making noise. Hi, Bossy Jossie. Jocelyn. Barbie says our Korean neighbors always gave us sake every year at New Year's. I never had the heart to tell them we didn't drink. They were so lovely. Yeah, that that would be awkward. Alan, are you dabbing? Thank you, Alan. Bye, Karina. Hope you have something good to eat. Oh, which reminds me, I need to thaw some chicken so I can make jambalaya tonight. But I think I'm going to make Jared make it. Or at least help. It's like, I love chicken. I hate cutting up raw chicken. It's a mess. Oh, More, you got a copyright strike? I'm sorry. Hi, little piece. We've been talking about what happened to George Floyd and riots and, all the other stuff that's going on right now. Andrew wants to assist. He doesn't even like the jambalaya. Charlotte, what's that emoji? Is that a fidget spinner? What is that? Oh, you hear the bird out there? I think it's a crow, probably. That was a good try, Heather. All right, I'm gonna make the face for Deo. Brendan says, my mom is terrified of rats, mice, and birds. Birds? All birds? Even the cute, tiny ones? We've had a bunch of jumping spiders in our house recently, and I was taking a nap and I felt one run on my arm. It's that, one of those moments where you think maybe it was a hair or something, but I just, no, there was a spider on me, and I don't like spiders. See, I'm afraid of most spiders, fire. I am useless when there's a fire. So one time, logically, I know what to do in a fire, and I've, had lessons in school and stuff, but I'm useless when there's a fire. I forget that fire extinguishers exist. I forget about baking soda and all of that. So one time my friend Yvonne was over and we were making fries on the stove, and it flared up, and I just froze and started to scream. And she's just calmly going, okay, I need some baking soda. And I'm still, ah! Totally useless. When I was a kid, firefighters used to come to our school and teach us to stop, drop, and roll. And I just really started to believe one day I'm going to set fire. It just sounded like such a possibility. And I had nightmares about fires all throughout my childhood. And if I heard the house settling at night, I would think, what is that? Is that a fire? Like, I would get up in the middle of the night to go check the house to see if it was on fire. And so when she had to downsize and move in with a friend, she was getting rid of her deep fryer, and she asked me if I wanted it, and I said, no thanks. And she goes, well, you could make this, you could make that. I'm like, I'm never using a deep fryer. I'm not. I use an Instant Pot. I feel safe with the Instant Pot, but I will never use a deep fryer. Ever. Never, ever, ever, never. Diana says you would probably stop, drop, and run. Brendan says, I used to dream about tornadoes when I watched Twister for the first time. Oh my gosh, I hated that movie so much. It didn't scare me, but the part where the tornado passes them over and they've like strapped themselves to a pipe in the ground and they look up into the center of the tornado, that is so stupid. It's one of the most unrealistic, stupid scenes. And I'm not usually one to watch a movie and go, that would never happen. But yeah, that. There's certain movies we've watched where either my brother or my husband will go, that kind of gun doesn't hold that many blah blah blah, or that bullet would not make a hole that size, and I'm like, shh, stop ruining the movie. Heather, you're chill during emergencies? Apparently I am not. um how many years ago was this? This was maybe 7 years ago, and I was at a farmer's market with two of our kids. You weren't there, Andrew, but I I decided I'm finally going to try a crepe. There's a crepe stand, and like they have different options. They have savory, they have sweet, and I thought, I'll. Not that this even matters. Why am I even telling you that? But I got a ham and cheese crepe. Who cares? And they had a bucket of ice with water bottles in it. It was a very hot day. And this woman came up right behind me and she reached for the water as she said, "Do you have any water?" And then she went down right next to me. And I was close enough that I tried to catch her and I failed. And she was like between these two tent poles. So there's like shade tents, if that makes sense. And I kind of started to go into shock because like I wanted to help her, but then Eric and Carmen were both standing there watching, and I didn't know that when you pass out, you can lose bowel control. And I thought that happens when you die. I thought, oh my gosh, this woman is dying or she's dead. And this man picked her up and put her in a camping chair, saying we need to get her in this chair. And then my husband was there and he goes, no, she needs to be put on the ground. Like if you pass out, that is your body saying that you need to be down. It turned out that she had had dialysis that day, and she wasn't a diabetic, but she had dialysis regularly. And so she got moved over to the grass, and I went and got some napkins and dipped it in the ice water where the water bottles were, and because I was thinking, is this heat exhaustion or what's going on? And then she started to wake up, and there was a nurse there, and so 911 was called and all of that. But I was shaking all over by the time that was done, and I remembered my crepe that I had ordered. So I went back over and I was like this with my money. I'm like, here's the money. And he goes, it's on the house. You can have it for free. And my husband kept asking if I was okay, but the thing that freaked me out the most was my kids are watching someone die and I want to help, but my kids are watching, so I wanted to shield my kids from seeing what was happening to her. And I wanted to help, but I don't know if it would have been any different if my kids weren't there, actually. So I don't know. People always say, if I were in that situation, I totally would have done this, but don't really know until you're in the situation, or if you have been in a similar situation before. Hi, Cynthia. I saw that my screen was blipping, so you probably missed some of the conversation. So anyway, PSA, if someone passes out, it is possible for them to lose bowel control. And I'll know that in the future and not automatically assume that they're dying. All right, I'm catching up on comments again. Dale, there was a shooting at a talent show? Oh, Kimmy, if I did a video about how me and my husband met, there wouldn't be any photos of him. And we didn't meet in high school. My yearbook, I don't know. I'd be like blurring out people's names. Hi, Bossy. I don't know if Adam and I will do another video together, but I don't know if you heard when a few of us were on his channel. Uh, Everything's a blur. Like a week or so ago. Was it 2 weeks? I don't know. Gurmeet, yes. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Lockdown has made people go crazy. Heather, it really doesn't surprise me that you're chill during emergencies. Alan says, I had a girlfriend who was scared of clowns and caterpillars. I totally understand the clowns. Diana, we are applying for a modified level 1 or phase 1. So one of my friends who has her own hair salon, she says she might be able to do hair soon. We got a call from the dentist office today saying they can schedule appointments, but they have to be spread out, and they can see 2 kids from one family at the same time, but then they're, of course, going to do screenings and take temperatures, and we're supposed to call them when we get there, so thank goodness for my little burner phone. So in case you all didn't know, I don't have a smartphone. And if possible, we're supposed to send our kids in without us, which is fine for my older kids, but that is not going to fly with Sabrina, and I would not allow that because I have trust issues. And they're also not going to be using the polisher on their teeth because that can create aerosol. So they're going to be manually brushing their teeth. So it's not going to, I don't know, feel this sparkly. Oh, Ubuntu, are you still there? He says he missed the face that I made. I'll make the face again if you're still there. Ubuntu, I almost made a video about you not being around. I was gonna be like, confirm that you are okay. Hi, Ben. Thank you. I hope you all stay safe too. Ubuntu, are you still there? Is this thing lagging? Hi, Nanette. I don't know. I guess I've kind of gotten used to isolation, but I'm kind of sick of all of the Zooms and everything. Thanks, Jocelyn. Tim says, I thought I must be the only person without a smartphone. No, I don't have a smartphone. I could probably scam bait more easily if I had a smartphone and put the apps, the fire RTC and stuff. Granny, you bought a new car? Heather says, went clubbing with my brother and one of their friends, quit breathing when we left, and my sister-in-law went to pieces. It was just me and her, so I reached back and rubbed hard on her sternum. That sounds scary. Oh, thanks, little piece. Yeah, I think we're always in a mom mode in the back of our minds. Kimmy says, did Nifty Nutrition come to your school? He looked like Gumby. I don't remember Nifty Nutrition. Brendan, that's true. He says, yeah, anyone can say you should have done this after the event, or you were not there. Lots of people just freeze in those situations. And the thing is, I have frozen even like non-emergency situations. Like my brother was visiting and at my church, and this one dude I talked about before was staring at me. And my brother started to walk away, and I was like using him as a shield at the moment, and I grabbed him and said, no, don't. And he goes, what? And I just had the deer in the headlights thing going on, and he goes, oh. And so I kept behind him, and the dude kept moving to stare at me, and I moved again, and he just kept doing that. So my brother finally goes, like, turns around and glares at the guy, and he's telling me, just run out that door right there, just run out. I'm like I literally felt like I couldn't run out the door. I'm like, no, just stay here. I'm like, just stay here and I'll go away. It's, yeah, I don't enjoy being a freezer. But when people if people do something to someone that I love, then that's a different situation. And I might lash out. I have lashed out. Diana says, in an emergency, I tend to run around in circles. Oh, man. Andrew, you're not in mom mode. Deo says, Sarah, are you behind in the chat? Probably. I'm like scrolling. The last comment I see is from Diana at 3:59 p.m., so maybe the chat's frozen. I should have gotten a fresh water. This one is old and it tastes bad. Granny says, in an emergency, I inevitably run off and leave my dentures behind. I'm trying to think, when is a time I was calm in an emergency that I can think of? There were times I had to call 911, but I wasn't like panicking, but maybe had a hard time communicating what was going on. Yeah, Diana, one of my sons was being bullied years ago, and one of the bullies walked by me saying something gross about him and negative. He didn't know he was next to me. It did not turn out well for him. And then my son was never bullied again. Andrew, that was Jared. I think you know that story. It's a long story. There were multiple boys involved, and this had been happening for a while. So I just followed him into their classroom. This is actually at church, and oh, okay. I didn't know you didn't know, Andrew. So they're sitting down, and their teachers weren't in the room yet, and I go, "What did I just hear?" And just horrified. Nothing. And I go, what inappropriate thing did I just hear? And this other kid points at the boy who said it. And this other boy who had like roughed up my son, and I had never addressed things with him and his parents. I then gave him the death glare, like, don't you ever go near my son again. And then I looked back at the first kid and said, I guess you didn't learn your lesson, did you? And the teachers didn't even say anything to me, like, what's going on? I was like on my way to another location in the building at that time and had to get back over there. But I was fuming. Like, yeah. It was not pretty, but, yeah, it was too bad for him that he said something in front of me. So, no, I didn't do anything illegal or anything, but I could be scary when I'm angry. Hi, Diana. Um, Luke, can we talk about your harrowing ordeal that happened to you? Actually, I think it speaks for itself. So Luke made a brief video about a new scam, and you should probably go watch it. Luke, even though he's a very seasoned scam baiter, he was almost scammed. DJ, don't ruin it. Bye, Charlotte. It's good to see you. Oh, you think you get super chat now? Yeah, that's the little donations. Andrew, will you thaw out 4 chicken breasts, please? Put them in cold water in a bowl. Are you still there? Thanks, Diana. Andrew, I just feel grateful that you get to help me. Luke. Ellen, are you talking about what happened to Luke? Yeah. It's pretty chilling. Well, I think I'm gonna go soon and rest. Andrew, it takes 2 minutes of your time to thaw out the chicken. That's hard. Hi, 180. How are you? I hope I said hi to everyone. Thanks, Diana. I had a lot of fun with that. That was like the last fun thing I did, and since then it's all been like watching riots on live streams and sadness and um, before the pandemic, I actually avoided the news as much as possible because I had a long bout with my chronic illness, which is aggravated by stress, and I didn't even know about coronavirus until I was on this parenting group, and someone in Italy said something about it and how their their city was a ghost town, and I was like, wait, what? And I started reading more about it, and oh crap! And so I did just some basic shopping for my family to have what we needed, and did my shopping on my birthday. And the very next day was when stuff started disappearing, so I was very glad I caught wind just in time. And yeah, the news is super getting to me, and I know that they only show the worst things that are going to get the best ratings, right? Hi, Insomniac. I'm glad to hear it, Granny. I hoped it would be helpful to someone. Um, I don't know. It's been confusing because as things developed last week, I was wanting to speak out about the situation, and then I got on Twitter and I saw a mix of people saying, um, we don't want to hear from white people right now, and other people saying, white people, you need to speak up. And so I felt kind of paralyzed at that point, like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to upset anyone or offend anyone. But then I just decided, I need to go with my original instinct, which is to talk about it, because I don't think being quiet about it has helped anybody. Dio, I've never done TikTok. I wonder if I can get that on my tablet, but then I have to clear off some space. Like usually I don't have enough room on my my tablet. But yeah, what happened to George Floyd? That is a civil rights issue, and we should all care about Black rights and everyone's civil rights. Insomniac, you feel like you remember who, me? You feel like you remember me from a long time ago? Sometimes people are talking to each other, and I think they're talking to me. Dale would be fun on there, I think. So yeah, I didn't want to make a video that made like, I don't know, like there's so many situations where people are being told you're not choosing your words correctly, you should feel like this and you should be saying that. And I think if people are coming from a good place, let's be forgiving of each other, you know? It just feels like we're becoming more divisive all the time. Thank you, Diana. Maybe I should re-upload this and cut out my crying at the beginning. Blur my face out. Thank you, Alan. Little piece, I cried a little bit. Sorry. I didn't full on ugly cry though, so. Diana, thank you. Don't make me cry again. I hear Jared singing. Can you guys hear Jared singing? Have a good dinner, Deo. He's singing to Every Teardrop is a Waterfall by Coldplay. Tell us your best joke. I don't know what my best joke is. My uncle told me one years ago. Maybe I've told this one before. What's the difference between toilet paper and a shower curtain? Thank you, Diana. That is so generous of you. So you're the one. Get it? You guys helped cheer me up. It was good to talk to you. I'm like sitting on the edge of my bed and cutting off the circulation to my legs because I am short. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew, will you go tell Jared that he's in charge of making the jambalaya? That's going to be the truly hard part. I just heard him yell to Jared. Alright. Speaking of... Hello, all things Galen. So, speaking of clowns from earlier, people being scared of clowns. Hi, Nabob. Nabob? Nabob? I don't know. Someone mentioned the fear of clowns earlier. My brother told me this joke, which I'll have to edit. It's about a clown, and he was doing like a stand-up thing. And he singled out this kid and said, "Hey, kid!" I hope I remember this correctly. "Are you a horse's foot?" "No." "Are you a horse's nose?" "No." "Are you a horse's leg?" "No." "Well, that's because you're a horse's A." And everybody turned and laughed at him. And he spent decades planning his revenge against this clown. This is such a stupid joke. So, it's decades later, and he's ready to take this clown on. And there he was again doing his little stand-up thing. And again, the clown singled him out. Like, "Hey, you! Are you a horse's foot?" "No." "Are you a horse's nose?" "No." "Are you a horse's leg?" "No." "Well, that's because you're a horse's A." And he goes, "Oh, yeah? Well, F you, clown." That's it. That was his revenge. It's funnier my brother tells it. I'm sorry. Sorry. Fail. It's not even a real revenge. But it made me laugh. What was the punchline for the toilet paper shower curtain joke? Okay. So you go, what's the difference between toilet paper and a shower curtain? If the person says, "I don't know," you go, "So you're the one." Get it? So, I'll try to think of a good joke for next time. Sorry, everyone. Hi, Harry. I do need to get out more. Unfortunately, the only places I go involve the grocery store and being afraid of people. So. Oh, thank you. All things Galen. You also broke the rules, but thank you. Thanks, Carol. It's good to see you. JJ says, have you had any scammers in COVID? Like any scammers with COVID or? Harry, I'm safe, I think. We've been told that we have to have fewer than X amount of cases to move to the new phase of freedom. But with all the protests and stuff, according to what we've been told, we should expect to see, an explosion in cases. So we'll see if that's true. And it's been frustrating for some people because we've been so strict about staying home and, are told not to even have friends over in the backyard or anything like that. And so, that's the other thing that's been dividing people is people say like this lockdown is taking away our rights and having to wear a mask is taking away our rights, and there's just so much fighting about it. I'm so burnt out on the fighting. So So when the large gatherings, I mean, people should be able to protest, yes. Like, it's a hairy situation because, well, there's also a pandemic going on, and now there's the fear that there will be a huge explosion in cases, and then we'll be back to square one, and that we won't be able to do anything or run businesses and stuff. Oh, Hero, yeah, 90 degrees walking is, yeah, that's too warm. Andrew says he's the safest boy. Yeah, Andrew's best friend is moving, so that's another thing that's making me cry because I'm good friends with his mom too. So my cousin, she had COVID over 8 weeks ago, and she's still having symptoms that relapse. Um, she's having like cardiac symptoms, and that's been a worry. And she's 38 years old. She teaches yoga, and she was very healthy. And so when people say only those who had pre-existing conditions are dying, that drives me nuts. um, and a lot of people just won't believe that it's real until they actually have somebody who has it. And I actually have two more friends who have it. It's a husband and wife, and so far it's a mild case. Galen. Thank you. This is public disobedience super chat, everyone. uh, yes, Harry, we do need to be careful. So the thing is, the incubation period is, can be up to 2 weeks or something. So I don't know what to expect. Hey, Daniel. Daniel says it's moving into smaller towns. Yeah. Oh, so when our friend Lexi, who we made the video for, when she got married on Saturday, there were also riots going on in that city that day, and I spent the whole day wondering if her wedding really happened, or because I didn't know where things were going on, and she was supposed to be getting married in a park, and I figured if that didn't work, she'd probably get married somewhere else. But it just I've I've known her since she was 3, and it made me so emotional to think about her wedding day being like this with the pandemic. And Andrew, yeah, it can incubate for 2 weeks. So you can be exposed to it and then weeks later uh, get sick, or you might have it and not know it. And so that's what's so awful about this thing. And I've been following a family on Facebook, so she makes her post public. And there's a rabbi, um, his nickname is Yudi, and he doesn't have coronavirus anymore, but he has the after effects, and he's been on this thing called ECMO, a type of life support, and a ventilator for over 8 weeks now. And the hospital finally let his wife come see him earlier this week, and she's gotten permission to come see him every day. So, like, I read her posts and I just sob my eyes out. And it seems like being able to visit him, that has helped the most. And he's just been fighting super hard, and they have 6 kids. Their kids have not seen him in like 9 weeks or more. Um, And so she's actually a friend of a friend. So I've never met her, but I I check in every day to see how Yudi is doing. Oh, Diana, I'm so sorry. Diana says, I personally know 5 people so far that died from COVID. People are saying that it is a conspiracy. That is bull. I have to agree with you there. Um, like living close to the, the epicenter is what they call it. We've known quite a few people who've gotten it. We had a friend, we had friends who are husband and wife who had to just stay away from their kids in their house. The kids had to just kind of deal with everything. And the online schooling is kind of wearing on us, but when I look at my friends and geez, how are their kids doing their online schooling when their parents are holed up in their room uh, recovering from coronavirus? And they have recovered. I think the kids may have gotten it too. I haven't written to her lately, but I should. But we've been having weekly meetings with Carmen's teacher, and she said that Carmen was behind on some things, and I was like, yeah, I think hearing the news that there was possible violence coming to our town, that kind of threw us all off, so we're already dealing with all the coronavirus stuff, and then the focus became more about keeping an eye on things and hoping that our town and our family are safe. Mango super chat is where you just blah blah blah. Super chats are what they call the donations that people make in the chat. Yeah, Harry, there's a group that shows up. Oh, Galen. Thank you. Thank you again. Civilly disobedient man. So yeah, these special people travel around in a U-Haul and smash up various businesses and steal things. Like the South Center Mall. I don't know how to describe it. It's not that far away from Seattle, but they've been closed for days, or I think completely closed. And not really the mall itself. The full mall wasn't open, but there's like businesses in the area. There's like a hair salon there, and these guys came and like smashed that place up and threw nail clippers everywhere. It's just pointless. Like you're look at you go, just throwing those nail clippers. That's just why. Like they showed it on the news, um and those are usually owned by like a family. Like they're Hi, Sha Dynasty. So, I'm not sure what group the U-Haul people are with, but they're white people who are just breaking things and stealing and don't care about the cause. So, Diana, you're leaving? Thanks so much for chatting with me. Um, I think we had a curfew here the other night, but we haven't really been going anywhere anyway. Hi, Mom. How are you? It's not my actual mom. It's someone who goes by Mom. Show Dynasty, how are you doing? Yes, Galen, I do need smiles. A lot. Hi, Potato Man. Hello, other Diana. It's the third Diana. One more smile. How's that? I gave you my best smile. Diana. Oh, I'm glad you're safe, Dynasty. Dynasty says, I'm in a safe city. Our riot consisted of about 50 bad guys and one police line of about 30 officers. They tore up a couple of blocks. I'm glad that you've been safe. Ours is much safer than other areas. I was surprised to wake up on Monday and have my son freak out, to have neighbors warning us, hey, this is going on, and then get on our community pages and discover that it was true. And then I told this earlier, but we had like armed citizens guarding businesses, and the anarchists or whoever they were that came in the U-Haul were like cursing the cops and the citizens. Oh man, they don't get to take their free stuff. Hi, Rolfland. Rolfland, I say it. Rolfland. It's always hard to leave when new people show up. I'm like, I'm gonna go. Oh, hi, new person. Oh, Diana Hardy. I get to make new emojis now, and now I have to go see if I can remember how to do it. Aw. Simple Thing says, still here. Sorry, just had a little cry for like the 100th time today. I'm sorry. Big hugs for you. Harry, we've talked to our kids about the situation. Don't. Are you threatening me? Galen says, don't do that or I will super chat again. Them's fighting words, Galen. Wait, what bad news, Should Dynasty? What? No, tell us. Hi, Michigan. Can you still make kids? It's kind of a personal question. The names in green? What are the names in green? Oh, does it look green for you? Those are probably the moderators. how much to do your pick as an emoji. So I have a laugh emoji, the sexy one where I am Irene eating a red onion, stressed. And then the mad one is when I am dressed like the Hulk. Okay, so there's some moderators with a tool and others are green. Huh. Michigan is asking, do you have a husband or am I? Oh, I think a moderator said, are you, do you have a husband or are you trans? Well, you could be trans and have a husband. So that doesn't really make sense. Andrew, do not call me a noob. Galen became a member. Thank you. Oh, so our member showing up in green, is that what? Hmm? Let me look back. So Diana and Tim, they're channel members. Oh, look, he's got the little red note thingy now. Oh, Diana, I didn't know that. Well, like no one's getting married in temples right now. They're getting civilly married and then getting sealed in the temple later. LDS is short for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is a mouthful. Galen says, I'm a member now. Ha ha, evil laugh. Michigan says, do you know how to have six? I don't know what that is, so I don't know if I... Sorry, I can't answer your question. I do have 5 kids, so no, I don't know how to do that. I wonder if this is the same person who came to my last live stream and kept posting bag of wieners over and over. Not a picture of that, it was just bag of wieners, bag of wieners, bag of wieners. Simple things, thank you. Oh, you have angered Andrew. Do not anger my son. Let's see. How do you do that? Oh. I don't want to add him as a moderator. There, I think I fixed it. Thomas was also asking if I can make kids. It's kind of weird. Hi, Insomniac. You remember me? You also remembered me. Well, oh, Diana. Don't ban Diana for saying bag of wieners. I think she's just joking. Rofland Pan says, can you make kids? Curious? Hi, Kara. Kara, I'm doing better now. Okay, good night, simple things. More big hugs to you. I don't know, a lot of... Okay, Roflon was talking to Thomas and was being sarcastic. Thanks, Diana. I'll have to plan, let's see, trying to remember the members' benefits. Galen, how did you post that YouTube symbol? Is that will a video play if I click on that? Thanks for coming, Kara. Thomas wants to know, can you make babies? You sound like my old neighbor. My very first conversation with my old neighbor said, "So, how many more kids you planning on having?" And I never would answer that question. Oh, thanks, Harry. Harry says, well, to change the subject a little, I must say I have been following your YouTube vids for a while now and love your style and the way you deal with scammers. Thank you. Andrew, do not talk about my fertility to Thomas. Shh. Well, I guess I did make that video about the pregnancy scare, so that's fine. Babies are adorable. Yes, I think the $4.99 membership is the level where I do member-only live streams, which I think would be fun, but no one like Thomas would show up and ask if I can make babies. Can you make babies? Hi, Linda. I'm going to read your comment like that. Read, can you make babies in your deep scammer voice, like, can you make babies, baby? Oh, I just missed that one. Can you make babies, yes or no? Linda says, thanks. Rofland says, how do I become a member? Well, there's supposed to be a join button, but it's not available in all countries, apparently. And for some people, Andrew, do not post bag of wieners or you are grounded, and please spell wieners correctly. Moore says, Thomas is asking because his mommy and daddy didn't explain it. Hi, Marianne. Marianne says, you remind me of my first best friend I had in junior high. Aww. Oh, DJ says he can't have babies. Wow. Kara says, well, I still haven't had any more scammers to send you to Instagram to torture. I've had some conversations off and on with Instagram scammers, but I don't always keep up the conversation, and they're under lockdown too, and so they're getting less fun. Yeah, Kara, some of them are boring to torture. It's just the same predictable stuff. There was one I was meaning to make a video about, though. This guy pretends to be an Italian fashion designer, and it cracked me up when he told me, "I have such a passion for fashion," and he says he's making some wares, and like, I could make some wares for you with jewels on it. And I gave him my measurements, and there's no one who actually has those measurements. They were like very bizarre. Me, have I ever been scammed in real life? There hasn't been a scam that I like fell for, but I had ordered some flowers from proflowers.com. I think that's what it was. And they automatically check a box signing you up for some membership thing, and they send you absolutely no information about it. So for a long time, they were charging me like $14.95 a month. And I would ask my husband, "What is this?" And he'd say, "Well, it might be this one business I bought something from." And then finally, one month when things were especially tight, I said, "What did you buy from these people?" And it came up as Easy Saver Rewards. It didn't come up as ProFlowers. And so I finally did a search and found all of these angry people who had been wrongfully charged and signed up for a supposed membership that doesn't actually give you anything. And so I called, and yes, it was people from India who answered. And they said, "Okay, we can authorize a $100 refund." And I go, "I hate to use the word stole, but you stole $500 from me, and you are giving me $500 back." And I got the money back. And that was the year I bought a Wii for my kids for Christmas. This is the worst possible way to save money, is to have it stolen from you repeatedly every month. And then force someone to give it back to you. But that turned out okay in the end. Package of coins. We always say coins like this. Coins. Do you want some wieners? We just call hot dogs wieners. We'll do wieners. Wieners. Sha Dynasty says, "I can't have babies, but I can have baby back ribs." I want my baby back ribs. I want my baby back. Hi, Calvin. I'm glad you enjoyed. Thank you. Oh, Granny says, "I fell for an anti-malware software scam a long time ago." Oh, girl. Yeah, Diana, it's not an interest-bearing savings account. True. You have ribs in your fridge? I have chicken thawing, thanks to Andrew, and I'm gonna make jambalaya. We have so much rice, I need to start using more of it. There's a hot dog preparation called Gaga. Am I saying that right? I'm not gonna remember that, but I want to go Google what Gaga. Reconnecting. Sorry, everyone. Oh, Barbie, you're folding laundry while you listen to me go on and on and on. Glad I could make it a little more entertaining for you. Oh, Kara, yes. I meant to make a video about all the Rick Springfields I was talking to on Instagram. It started to get really confusing, and now I have all of these screenshots from talking to like 3 or 4 different Rick Springfields, and it's so jumbled, and I just haven't had the brain power to put it all together. But oh my gosh, yeah, there's so many people or scammers on Instagram who will continue or claim that they're a celebrity, and they like private message you, thanks for being one of my fans. Like one time was Keanu Reeves. I'm like, yeah, that's what Keanu Reeves does all day. Um, he just contacts random people and thanks them for being a fan. I feel like the chat is paused again. All right, I keep saying I'm gonna go. Is this the correct time? 4:51. Seattle time. I'm gonna get started on forcing Jared to make dinner. And then maybe I'll go back to watching my friends yell at each other and tell each other how disappointed they are in each other for various reasons. Or maybe I won't. Like, there are days where I'm going to make a video and I decide I have to make the video before I read anything anyone says, because there have just been so many fights and heartbreaking things. So sometimes I'll go, I want to make a video about this, and then I read something that's really sad, and then I don't feel like I can do it anymore. And I did talk to a neighbor the other day, and we're going to try to plan something for the 4th of July that's safe and celebratory. And we used to be able to light fireworks here, but then they made a law against it. There are other towns where we can, and with my parents, they're still allowed to light fireworks, but they're not partiers anymore, and we can't be around them. And I know there's big displays that aren't happening anymore, and I don't know if there are going to be any or not. But we live in a cul-de-sac, so that's kind of fun. And I'm trying to think, what could we do besides Mentos and Diet Coke to be festive? I don't know. Is this thing on? It's frozen. Bottle rockets. Andrew, that is illegal. Shame on you. Thank you, Lori. Oh, yeah, my chat was frozen. All right, let me catch up before I go. Gaga's Rhode Island for Gagger. Meat, chili, diced onions, mustard, and celery salt. Oh, that sounds interesting. Andrew? You just now put the chicken in the bowl? Calvin says, when are you going to do more IRS scam pranks? Well, the scam numbers are very hard to come by right now because they've been on lockdown too. I don't know if they all are anymore there. Um, but then there was also a cyclone, and that did some damage in areas in India. So um, hopefully I can soon, because I would love to waste a couple hours of their time again. So my record is 3 hours, 12 minutes. Lori, your boss went to a Rick Springfield concert? Barbie, you went to one in the 80s and you're embarrassed? Wow. True confessions. Little Peace got a friend request from an astronaut. Yeah. Hey, Susan, you have a wonderful day too. Oh, yeah, Diana, like stools, like tall stools are very uncomfortable to sit on. Sometimes I'll prep food at a table with a cutting board, if it's painful to stand for any reason. Pretty sure I broke my toe a while back, and that made it very hard to cook. Goodbye, Andrew. I'll see you downstairs. I hope you get some sleep, Marianne. Thank you, Lori. Is this thing frozen again? Linda, you stay safe too. Wait, they're having a locust problem in India now? Hi, Drop Bear. Drop Bear, I was just getting ready to go. Granny says have a social distanced block party. That's kind of what we want to do, but I I don't think we'll like share food with each other or anything. I don't know. My chat keeps freezing. Yeah, there's craziness going on all over the world. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. It made me feel less lonely, and I felt like it was like 99% positive. So that was really helpful. Um, yeah, I think the negativity is wearing on a lot of people right now. So thanks so much. I hope you guys all stay healthy, and I'm praying that things will get better soon, and not, I don't mean better as in things just die down, but I hope we can make real change in this country and all over the world too. So thanks so much. Love you guys.